Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy Monday. I'm sorry that I did not go live last night. It was Super Bowl, and I realized that the time that I was about to go live was the time for the halftime show, and I wanted to see the halftime show. I like Kendrick Lamar. So I'm here today. So happy Monday, and sorry about that. It was kind of a spur of the moment thing. All right, so give me a second. I'm just trying to get together my talking points for tonight's topic. If you're here and you are watching me, please drop in the comments and tell me hello and where you viewing from. Let me see. Okay, let me copy this. Oops. Link. YouTube live. All right, I got it up. All right, let's see if any of my viewers who usually tune in on Sunday will be here today. And Stephanie, if you are here now or if you will be watching the replay, thank you so much for notifying everyone of my absence. Hey, Sawanis. Hello from Georgia, from the GA. Happy Monday. Did you watch the Super Bowl? Did you enjoy the halftime show? I mean, it wasn't anything that I was out of my seat dancing to or nothing because I only knew one song. Like I kind of feel bad about that. I only knew one song, and that was the one at the end. And it seems like most people, I bit my tongue. Most people, that's what they knew too. Nobody else really knew um, the other songs that he was singing. But all right, cool, cool. So tonight's topic, I'm going to be telling you guys about another call that I received from an attorney. This time it wasn't for any notarization that I did. It was actually for a notarization that another notary did. And it is because of the notarization being done the way it was, is why this case is not going to be a part of a case, pretty much. Not the first two songs, but once SZA came on, it got better. I didn't know that song either, girl. I'm bad, huh? I did not know that song either. Just I only knew the They Not Like Us song. That's all I knew. So my attorney called. I'll get into that first. I really wanted more people to be on though because I wanted you guys to ask questions and I wanted you to answer some of my questions just to see, how many of y'all on here know that some of the things this notary did was a no. But let me see what time it is. Maybe I'll give another 3 minutes. Let's see how many people come on. But yeah, man, just a lot of different things going on in the notary world that we really have to do our due diligence. Like I know I get on here and I tell you guys all the time to educate yourselves. Make sure you know what you're doing. I'm like, come on, guys. Like, it's not hard, okay? Like notarizing documents are not hard. You make it hard for yourself when you start trying to take shortcuts because you think that your way is the better way instead of just following what your state says you can do. All right, let me see what Swana said. The second one was from the end of the Black Panther movie, All the Stars. Girl, I don't know. I'm gonna have to maybe go and Google that and listen to it. I'm so bad with the newer songs. I'm really bad about it. I'm a R&B girl, And most of the times when I'm in my car, I'm listening to my Pandora because it has a playlist of songs that I like from when I was growing up, you know what I'm saying? And not that I don't like any of the new songs, but some of the new songs I just can't vibe with it, you know, because I'm just like, what are they talking? What? Like, I like Kendrick Lamar, don't get me wrong, but I couldn't understand nothing he was saying. I had to read the captions, you know, and I don't know if that has anything to do with me being older or nothing, but I be needing them captions, girl. I'm like, what is he saying? I don't understand what he's saying. Let me read. Oh, okay. Okay. Hi, Joy. Yes, today was a great start to my week. And let me see what Swan has said. Yes, 90s R&B. Yes, honey. That's me all day. All right. Question for Florida Durable Power of Attorney. Go ahead. That's actually a document that I wanted to talk about. So I think, yeah, I think that's the document that the attorney called me about. So ask your question, Joy. Let's see. One is to triple confirm. It requires two witnesses. However, the statute does not clearly state if notary can be one. So in regard to power of attorneys, it is highly recommended that the notary not be one of the witnesses on power of attorneys. But let's just say you can't find one. As long as that notary verbiage does not state that you are notarizing the signatures of the witnesses as well, you can proceed to go ahead and be a witness. But it's just highly recommended that you have two disinterested parties to witness the signer being willing and aware of the document that they're about to sign. That's all. I believe so. I am not notarizing the witness signatures. Okay. So I say, yes, I can. Am I right? Yes, you can if you choose to. And if the certificate does not have you put the witnesses' names in it, stating that you are witnessing their signatures as well. That answer your question? Exactly. Like everything in the dang on statute. It's always, that that silver lining. It's like it doesn't say that you can't, but it says that you shouldn't, right? Like it says that a journal is not required for Florida notaries, but if you do have a journal, these elements need to be in them. So I should have a journal? Like, what are we saying? I don't have to have a journal, but if I do have a journal, you get to tell me what I put in it. Gotcha. Silly Florida. All right, guys, it's 8:36, so let's get into it. So, power of attorney document. An attorney called the notary education group because I do have two different numbers for each. I have the number for my notary services, and then I have a phone number for the education group, which is my academy. So I got the call to the academy, and wait, before I get into that, I need to start making sure I share these comments before I'm just answering. This is what Joy asked me. We're just going back and forth about the durable power of attorney. Okay. So the attorney called and he said that he was present during a notarization and that the notary had signed and notarized the document and the document was not filled in. And so I'm like, oh, well, that's prohibited. Notaries anywhere, all right, it's not just Florida, but it does specifically say in our statute that we are prohibited from notarizing incomplete and blank documents. It does say that. And so he said that the document was not completed and it was signed and notarized by a notary. And so now it has come to his desk, and all of a sudden, this document is completed. He was like, now wait, when I was there, this document was not completed, and now it is completed. He also asked some questions about the validity of the notarization. So first of all, it was notarized and it was incomplete. So that automatically makes it invalid. But there were some other things. So um, he said that he had spent all night reading our statute because he was trying to find the answers to his questions. And he said he really didn't find the answers he was looking for. So he wanted to know, with me being a person that educates notaries, can I answer the questions for him or help him find the answers? And I said, sure. So he said, in the part that you guys have to fill out, what all supposed to be there? He was like, now the signature is the part that I'm asking about. He was like, she or he, I don't remember, the notary signed the document and he said the signature was not legible and they stamped their notary stamp right up under their signature. And so I said, well, it doesn't say anywhere in our statute that our signature has to be legible, but it does say that up under our signature, we have to print our name. Now, that name being printed can be written, typed, or stamped, okay? Or printed, I believe. I think it says for, right? So, but we do have to have our printed name up under our signature. Okay, and then the seal is another element. So that's three elements I just named off. I named off the signature, the notary's printed name under their signature, and the notary seal. But this notary just used their seal up under their signature. Now, I don't believe that would cause it to be invalid, though. You know, you have some notaries, they just like to cut corners. I don't want to write my name. I'm just going to stamp it up under my signature, whatever. I don't know if they would make that notarization invalid for that. But he also said that the notary wrote in personally known and circled it. And so I told him, well, that won't make it invalid either because we do have to say how we verify the signer. So either we verify with ID or we personally knew them. So the notary personally knew them, and you can write it in. It don't have to be printed. It could be written in. It could be stamped in. However you got to get it in there, it's got to be there. And so he was like, oh, okay. He was like, well, they scratched off the date and wrote another date. Is that okay? I said that the notary initial it. And he said no. I said, now that would be an issue because we don't know who changed the date. This is why whenever you have to scratch out something and correct it, you need to put your initials because what if the person who completed the document after it was notarized decided to change the date and the notary didn't, right? So we had three things, okay, and possibly two, okay, but three things for sure. We cannot sign and notarize incomplete or blank documents. We do have to make sure we put our initials if we make any changes in our notary certificate. Um, I'm not completely 100% sure that them not printing their name under the signature instead of using a stamp is going to cause it to be invalid. I really think that they probably won't make that big of an issue of it, although that is incorrect. You should not use your stamp as your printed name. You should print your name under your signature. That is what it says for us to do in our statute. If we follow our statute the same way every time, we don't have to worry about having mistakes. You know, and you have so many notaries. Well, I don't want to read it. It's too much information. Then don't be a notary. Don't notarize documents because what you don't understand is you may have notarized several documents and the people who want you to notarize it, they may not know what is required of you. So it won't matter until it matters. When it goes to court and you have attorneys who are dissecting what would deem this notarization to be invalid so they can win a case, you think they're not going to do it? They're going to turn right to our state statutes and they're going to catch you up. So stop thinking just because you do it wrong all the time that it's never going to come back to you. Because when it matters, a year from now, 3 years from now, 12 years from now, what are you going to do? Because if you're in the wrong, you're in the wrong. And they can bring up suit against you for it. Now, unfortunately, the attorney said that the people who were trying to get whatever done based on this power of attorney, has relocated this person and they can't find them. They're thinking or saying that the person is not of their right mind. And so this person is missing. And so they're trying to locate this person. But in the meantime, the other attorneys are scrambling because now they have this new information that this document that those people who have the person, they needed to get something done. And this is why they got the document signed and notarized, but they may not be able to get it done. So that means probably access to money. They're probably not going to have access to it, which is a good thing, right? Because if they're trying to scam, you don't want them to have access, but they need to find the person. All right. So I wanted to tell you guys I can't drop any names or anything like that. You may hear about it on the news, or whatever, but we have to make sure we are following our all the steps, okay? And you have so many notaries. I don't want to do general notary. I'm gonna skip that and just do loan signings because you make more money. And that may be so. I don't really agree because I make just as much money as I do doing general notaries. I do loan signing. I think when I did my books, I made maybe 1,000 or two less than I did for loan signings with general notary. So you make about the same amount of money. It depends on who you're working with. But anyway, you skip it, and general notary is what is going to make sure that you're not messing up other documents. All right, so power of attorneys, that's general notary work. Estate planning documents, that's general notary. It doesn't have to do with loans for real estate or nothing. People buying property, selling property, no. So general notary, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. But you need to be very sound on the knowledge you get from doing general notary practices. All right, we need to know, and this is for Florida notaries, but I'm sure that there are other states that have specifics on how their notaries are supposed to notarize documents. And you need to read that, you need to follow that. Now, for Florida, everybody knows that I made a checklist for myself, okay? And it has all of the elements that are required for me to make sure that my notarizations are valid every time. All right. So I follow this. I've been a notary 5 years in July, and I still have to look at this every once in a while. No matter how many times you notarize documents, sometimes you're going to forget. And I'm human. Okay. Doesn't mean I don't know what I'm doing. It just means I'm human. And you guys, you have to please make sure that you are notarizing these documents correctly. And then, even furthermore, if you're not doing any general notary, you don't really know how to identify the different types of documents you're going to come across. Now, when I do closings, I'm notarizing the same documents over and over again for the most part. They may be signing different documents, but I notarize the same stuff over and over again. Okay? When I do general notary, I see documents from everywhere and even other countries. I've notarized documents from other countries. Okay? Here, I do apostles. So, well, I don't do them, but I facilitate them getting the apostle from the Secretary of State. But if you don't put your hands on these type of documents, you really don't become familiar with all the types of documents that are being requested to be notarized. And then you start asking questions, can that be notarized? Quite frankly, we can notarize just about anything. All right. The only thing I can't notarize is objects and copies of vital records. But if you come to me and you want me to notarize a letter, I can do it. All I got to do is make it valid for notary, and that's it. I get a document. Every once in a while, I have two people. So I have one who has to get documents notarized from Canada, and the document that they have to get notarized is saying that they're still alive, so that they can receive their pension. So it's like affidavit of living or something like that. I don't know. I have to notarize that. They have to get it done. Um, I guess annually. I don't really remember because I don't have to do it all the time. It's just like once a year or so, something like that. And then I had another one. Where are they from? They're from one of the Caribbean islands, so like Jamaica or something like that. And they have to do the same thing for their pension. And I guess it's because people will die and the family won't notify and they'll still collect the person pension. Ain't that something? You collecting your dead relative money, you know? So they have to get those notarized and then they send them off to wherever they got to go. So, yes, doing general notary work is not bad. Okay. Plus, you get paid the same day. I get paid the same day or the next day, depending on who I'm working with. If it's an individual, I get paid the same day. Some of my attorneys pay me the next day or the same day, you know what I'm saying, or within the week. But you're not waiting 30 days for money like you do with the signing services or title companies, you know. But to each his own. You set your business up the way you want to set it up. But all I'm saying is you will make just as much money doing general notary work as you would doing signings for real estate transactions. That's all I'm saying. And so on as you should do general notary work. You're in Georgia, so I guess it wouldn't be. I think the thing that keeps you guys from doing it is you have a low fee, right? Is it $2 or $5 per notarization in Georgia? But even with that being so, you could charge for other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Travel and, printing documents or, offering fax services, performing facilitation for apostles. You could tack them fees on. You could do certification of translation documents. I had one today that called. They're probably not going to call back because they didn't like what I quoted them. But my price ain't everybody's price. Maybe they could find it for cheaper. Okay, yeah, $2. But that adds up. You can add other fees into that. Joy, I agree. Additionally, we can facilitate. I can't talk. We can facilitate apostles and estate docs big here in Florida. Yeah, I just did an apostle last week, and I did. I do documents translations through a company, and yeah, I get a little facilitation fee for that, and then I have to notarize it, so that's another fee. So you make your money the way you make your money. Swanis, yes, mobile notary. There you go. Joy, we can also do permit running. I am in TPA, that's Tampa area, Joy. And so there are a ton of rehabs and repairs happening after the storms. Ah, okay. I never got into the permit running, but I am aware of it. So that's good. That's good for you. Offer as many services as you can to, make the money, period. All right. So what else I want to talk about? Okay, Tampa. Yes, that's what I thought. Okay. Because I'm like, you in Florida, TPA. Okay, yeah, Tampa. All right. So yeah, that's what I want to talk to you guys about. Making sure that you guys are knowledgeable on general notary practices. I'm supposed to be redoing my general notary work course. I need to condense it because if I continue to offer it at the capacity that it is at now, I'm going to have to charge. All right. This is the course that um, when I first opened up my academy that everybody was taking, and I was doing in-person teaching, and it was a week long, I believe, a week or 2 weeks long, and we would do each section, I think it was 4 times a week for 2 weeks. So it was 8 sessions, and everybody really liked it. But unfortunately, as my business increased, I wasn't able to keep up with that schedule. I would just be tired, and I just was like, I don't feel like doing it. So now it's an on-demand course. But like I said, I'm going to have to condense it because I want to offer it for free, but I can't offer you guys that course for free with everything that it has included. I have it priced at 75 right now. So what is going on with this piece of hair? So I'm going to revamp it. It's going to take some time because I have to figure out what what I should keep and what I should take out for the course, it's a lot of it's really a lot of practices in it that is in my general notary workbook that I have that everybody has been buying up like crazy. The GNW workbook is from my general notary work course. So yeah, I'm gonna have to work on that and condense it. Hopefully it'll be ready by the summer. But please take out the time, and if you don't have the time to read the statutes, you can buy a primer. Some states have the primer and some states don't. So for the states that don't have the primer, you need to look online at your state statutes. I prefer reading my Florida state statutes because that is the most up-to-date information. Remember, I told you guys I have a primer, and that primer is old. Okay, I bought it when I first became a notary, and since I became a notary, some of the laws have changed, and they have a new primer, and I just have not purchased it yet. So make sure that you guys are practicing. I see notaries asking questions about where can I buy notary certificates? You can make your own certificate. Okay. Um, a lot of states have the notary verbiage in the state statute online, and all you got to do is copy and paste it onto a Word document and print it out. Okay. You do not need to buy anything like that. We have to make the time, break it down by chapters. You got to, because if you don't, then you're going to get a call from an attorney challenging your notarization because it's invalid. All right. We got to make sure for Florida, especially, that we have those 9 elements. It's 9, right? We got to have those 9 elements, guys. Okay. Stop taking shortcuts. All right. It's really not a lot when you think about it. When I'm notarizing, I just count. I count when I'm going back through the documents. And what I've really gotten into the habit of doing, which a lot of notaries, they probably don't, you can pre-fill your certificates before you get to the customer. You shouldn't sign them or stamp them, but you can pre-fill them. All right. So if it's missing any of the elements, you can write it in or stamp it in. And when you get to the person's home, your certificates are already ready. So really all you having to do is just sign and stamp. Hi, Michael. Sorry I missed you yesterday. Let's see, Swan has said, I don't want any cause for exactly, Swan is that's why. And it's not a scary thing if you're doing your notarizations the same time, the same way every time, right? Because we know repetition becomes second nature. So you don't have to worry about, you know, did I mess up? Did I miss something? Because if you do it the same way every time and you're doing it the right way, you don't have to worry about that. All right. Thank you. Yeah, I had to watch the halftime, and the time I was going to go live was when the halftime halftime performance was coming on. Exactly. No shortcuts. We can't afford to make shortcuts. You shouldn't want to. All right. And I showed you guys before, my husband had to get a document notarized, and the notary just signed it and stamped it, and then they signed in a space that is for office use only. I'm like, Lord, I hope that they take your document, because if they don't, and then think about it this way: when people get documents notarized for something, right? And the office that the document needed to be given to gets audited, and that auditor is trained to know if these documents are notarized correctly. Then now you don't screw this person, because sometimes those documents don't get reviewed until well after the fact, right? I had a person who contacted me. They needed to get a document notarized for an apartment that they were living in, and it was for their Section 8. I remember this. The lady worked at a restaurant, and her husband needed to sign the document, so I wasn't able to notarize it. But she was telling me that the notary didn't notarize the document right, and the Section 8 people had the document for some time because it was time for her to renew her lease. And they saw that when she had got her lease initially, the document wasn't notarized right. So this is what I'm saying. A year later, I guess her Section 8 representative was a new person, and they got that document and they saw it wasn't notarized right. And now that notarized document was standing in the way of them being able to renew their lease. Do you see where I'm getting at? You guys have to make sure that you are paying attention and stop listening to people telling you don't worry about reading the document. You don't need to. Sometimes you do need to read it because sometimes the documents will have instructions for the notary. Okay. And you're not going to know that if you are hell bent on not reviewing or reading the document that you're about to notarize. Or how about the attorney call I told you about called the Notary Education Group? And they sat in on a notarization where the notary signed and notarized an incomplete document. The document wasn't filled out at all. But all of a sudden, now this document is on his desk and now it's filled out. But he specifically remembered when he sat in on the notarization that it was not filled out because you got too many notaries who get into the game. They watching all these YouTube videos, make all this money being a notary, and they trying to skip ahead and take shortcuts, like Sawana said, just so they can make a buck. And now your notarization is about to be challenged in court, and you're gonna have to pay back them bucks and more. It's not worth it. Yes, you can make money being a notary, but if you don't want to be shelling out money, you need to be making sure you're notarizing the documents the correct way. All right. Now, if you guys want to have a general notary practice session, let me know. I will schedule it. I will post the invite for it so everybody can join, and we will have a general notary practice. All right. And if you are from different states, you can let me know what state you're from. I'm sure I should be able to Google your state statute and we can see what makes your notary certificate valid. All right, because practice makes perfect. All right, and it's not hard. It's quick, it's easy, and sometimes people just prefer to do it with another person. I get it. Okay, Michael. Yeah, so you guys let me know. If enough people want to do it, I'm all for it. I'll schedule it. I'll look and see what my schedule is looking like. And then I'll schedule some time. I can share my screen. We can go, you know, step by step on what we should be doing when we notarizing these documents, verifying IDs, making sure that we're taking the correct IDs. Okay, because there are some places, some countries where you can't take a certain ID from them. And it should say it in your statute. In Florida, it says it in ours, but not every state is the same. Okay. All right, Swanis and Michael. I got 2 votes for a general notary workshop. Okay. So by next Sunday, I'll hopefully be able to tell you guys what day we can do that. Okay. Well, guys, that was all I had. It wasn't a whole lot. It's just me trying to drill into your minds that you got to be notarizing these documents the correct way every time because we don't want no problems, right? We don't want no problems. We don't want to be having to pay no fines. We don't want to be scared and threatened by attorneys because that's their job. It's nothing personal. That's their job. They got to be out here making money. And if they can show that we are not doing what we're supposed to be doing and that these documents are not valid, it's your fault. It's your fault. So, all right, Charlotte. Or is it Charlotte? That's spelled different. Charlotte? Okay, cool. All right, so that's three votes. Okay. Joy. We are handling some of the most critical documents in a person's life: homes, wills, trust, consent forms for children. The impact of being sloppy can be catastrophic. catastrophic. I am so cognizant of that. Oh, yes, you are absolutely right. I'm in. Practice makes perfect. All right, we got 4. All right. Now, y'all don't have me set this up and y'all don't show. Okay. Because that's what I used to do. I used to have live training all the time, and I would have 1 or 2 people show, and I have 15 people saying, I want to do it, and then they don't show up. So don't waste my time. Now, I'm going to make this time for y'all to, practice, and, we ask some questions and see how we can master our practice. But y'all got to make sure y'all show up. Okay. So I'm going to have to see what time I have available. It'll probably be in the evenings. Okay, y'all okay with that? It'll probably be in the evening because I work during the day doing my notary and I don't like to turn down no money. So I take all my notary appointments during the day and then I can meet with you guys in the evening to do that practice. Okay, so I'll let you guys know next Sunday. All right. Anybody have any questions before I let you go? No questions? All right, guys, I'm about to go and get ready for bed because I do have some appointments I got to get ready for. So, everybody have a wonderful week. Thank you for joining, and I will talk to you guys again on Sunday. Good night. Oh, wait, Charlotte says she has one question. I'm glad I looked. Michael has none. All right, Charlotte, what you got? Or were you saying yes to how I pronounced your name? Did I pronounce your name correctly? I hate mispronouncing names because people always seem to mispronounce mine. I'm like, why? Oh, yeah, and I didn't even introduce myself in the beginning. Sure, Joy. Absolutely. Joy asked, would I be open to doing a training on complex signings? Of course. Those are my favorite. Those are my favorite because they're not so complex when you break it down with somebody else. You're like, oh, well, you don't make it seem it's not complex. It's just the way we think about it. Sometimes we overthink things. All right, Charlotte, I hope so. Um, I forgot to introduce myself in the beginning of the video because I just was talking about Kendrick Lamar and everything with Swanis. But my name is Bea Elise. I am the owner of Bea Elise Notary Services and the Notary Education Group. Every Sunday, today was a rare occurrence. Every Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I come live to talk to you guys about business and notary related tips, topics, and answer any of your questions that you may have. Right? So, have a great week, everyone, and I will see you guys again on Sunday. All right, and then we can talk about the date and time we're going to meet online to do our general notary workshop. All right, have a great week, everyone. Oh, attorney in fact, signature by Mark. Oh, yeah, everything that's in my general notary course that I got to break up. Absolutely, we could talk about that. All right, Michael, good night. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye.